Hey guys, Thunderset here, and we are revisiting another soft lock card that new Yugimoto has unlocked for us, and that's Vandalgan the Dark Dragon Lord. What a name. So, if you negate the activation of opponent's spell or trap card, so we have to negate something, or a monster effect, with a counter trap, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you summon him this way, he will do something different depending on what you negate. So, you negate a spell, arguably the best one, you get to do 1500 damage to your opponent. That's almost half your life points in our speed duel format. If you do a trap, you get to target one of your opponent's cards and destroy that target. So that is probably the rarest, but also objectively the strongest. And then monster, for target a monster in your graveyard and special summon it. That one's a little less common, especially with this deck. And it's a shame because you're going to be negating monster effects like constantly. So, you know, it's kind of hard. But it works out if you discard a monster for, let's say, a Parshath or an Ultimate Providence. And then you can bring them out, negate a monster, bring out the monster. It works out pretty decent. But mostly, try to aim for spells. Traps are pretty hit or miss. But yeah, so he runs counter traps. We're wrapping him around counter traps, the normal Parshath, because they open us up to our Avenging Knight Parshath, who can work as a boss monster. And all we gotta do is add more counter traps. So we have 3 Ultimate Providence, 2 Dark Bribe, 1 Divine Wrath, 1 Dark Illusion, which will only work with dark monsters, and we're running 2 Void Trap Holes. Void Trap Holes are not counter traps, but they're just strong traps to have in the meta right now, and they help us protect against a little bigger monsters. But overall, you want a ton of counter traps. So we have 6, 8, 9, 10. 10, half our deck is just counter traps, guys. But we're using Heavy Starter. Heavy Starter with our Dragon Lord, with 1 Temperance and 1 Chaos Hunter. So, brand new Heavy Starter. They made it not work too much like it used to. It used to work way too much. So this way, it's a very viable skill. You're still getting all the counter traps you want, and more likely getting your Dragon Lord. So it's pretty cool. Now, the cherry on top is our Winda. We have Winda because this deck checks a few boxes that lets us use Winda. We needed a normal monster we could just summon, get combos started. She does that. And she does so much more with the extra deck. We have the room in the extra deck, and we have the need for the boss monsters. So Winda is a really nice little slot in this deck. She's great in a lot of decks. She's just so strong. She's like Parshath. She's just so strong to put in your deck. She's easy to use. Parshath is really strong that you want to use it. Very similar cards, and there are boss monsters, guys, on top of our Dragon Lord. So it's a cool little deck. It really catches your opponent off guard. You use Heavy Starter and then hit them with counter traps. They really have no idea what you're doing. So you can really catch them off guard and sucker punch them for a win. It's a pretty cool deck. I don't know if it's worth it. Counter traps alone, whenever you're able to wrap things, be it Desperado or this Dragon Lord around counter traps, they're going to work really well. So it's pretty cool. Hope you guys are enjoying. Hope you guys are doing well in this tournament. I will be making tournament decks, I'm sure, at some point here pretty soon. Till then, hope you guys enjoy, and thanks for watching. Alright, Yami Yugi. Going second. This boy's trying to rank up. Show him the Heavy Starter. Starting off with 2 Windas, not usually what you want to see, but we also have a Divine Wrath and a Chaos Hunter, which is a perfect bout for this Dark Magician, guys. All we gotta do is get our Chaos Hunter on the field, then we can rely on our bigger boss monsters to swing over these Dark Magicians, but our opponent's gonna make it that much easier by bricking and only playing Magician's Rod and a Circle. So we get to Kamikaze our Winda into the Rod. Now we're going to trigger his Destiny Draw because we're not even scared if he even has it. So we hit him for the 2600. Let's see what he's got. Give him any card he wants from his deck. He chooses Dark Magical Curtain. We say not so fast. How about a Dark Bribe? No Dark Magical Curtain, but you can keep that life point damage. Here he's going to summon another monster. He wants to search. I say I'm not feeling that either. Divine Wrath. All the cards he wanted, and none of them are going to work to these counter traps. Sets 2 monsters. Here we talk deck a Dark Bribe. Our opponent's trying to get that quick navigation, but it wasn't quick enough. Maybe if he could have done it before I drew a card, I don't know if that's even possible. Probably not possible. But we drew a card, that means our Chaos Hunter can come out as soon as these Dark Magicians come out. And our Pelio can swing right over him. He even brings out a Kaiko at 1800 to make it that much easier for us, guys. We chain to the Dark Magical Circle, chain the Chaos Hunter to the Dark Magical Circle. She comes out first, no banish, swing at the Kaiko, don't care what your back row is, hit him for lethal. Great duel, guys. Alright, here we are versus Jaden. Should be a popular character in this upcoming tournament. He's using a coherent sleeve and mat combination, but we're using heavy starter, does not work. Second duel I'm showing you, heavy starter does not work. So here we're using Destiny Draw. He throws away a Malicious, chooses not to use the Malicious effect, maybe he can't. We're gonna set a bunch of back row, set our window. Our boy's gonna Cosmic Cyclone that back row in the middle slot for the Divine Wrath. We don't too care much about that Divine Wrath. Now he brings out the Malicious. He's going for a Poly, only 2, into an Adoration. We're gonna hit that boy with our Void Trap Hole. So he's gone, he's destroyed. Now he gets to normal summon a Destiny, take a little bit of damage from his own monster swinging into our window. So now he gets an increase, triggered by taking that damage. We get Dark Bribe, very useful versus a hero deck. Swing into the Celestial, Kamikaze, bring out an Apelio, now it's not a Kamikaze. Bring him to within 200 life points. He's still fighting, summoning a Stratos, searching a Ferris. He's still going for it, guys. Uses his increase. That's a Vion. Vion dumps another increase. Now he uses Fusion Time. Gets another Poly to his hand. Uses said Poly, but remember what we had waiting for him with our Dark Bribe. And remember what our Dragon Lord does when you hit a spell, guys. Here it comes. Straight 1500 to his only 200 left. Nice and easy. Great stuff. Okay, so here's some more phone replays. Thankfully, Konami has acknowledged the glitch. It only took them like a week. They don't even understand what the glitch fully is. They think the replays are still being deleted. They are not. It's just a visual glitch. I'm able to keep all the replays here with the links and then link them through my phone, watch them through my phone, screen share my phone to my laptop, and go from there. So get together, Konami. They say they're gonna fix it by the next maintenance, and I really hope they do. So but anyway, enough being salty, we'll get to the match. We're fighting a Cyber Dragon with a full back row and 2 dragons on the field, guys. But we have our window. We have our Parshath. How's he gonna get past these bosses? We're gonna discard our Chaos Girl. We're destroying a trap. That means our Dragon Lord, guys, is going to destroy another card. Here comes Dragon Lord. What card are we gonna hit? The money slot of the back row. It's a second overflow, so he gets to search his third and final overflow. Overflow should be banned to 2. I tell everyone, no one listens. So that's 3 overflows. Here he's gonna use his Cybernetic Fusion for a Rampage Dragon. Well, what's a Rampage Dragon gonna do to us, guys? He sets some back row, uses that Rampage Dragon's effect. Normal summons Zavir, sets that other overflow, and then hits our Winda. Didn't expect that, I'm sure. Here comes the Apelio. You know, much stronger than the Rampage Dragon. He chooses to hit the Apelio, which is an interesting move. Now he's going to Cosmic Cyclone our back row, another interesting move. But we're not tripping, guys. We switch him to defense because we don't want to do too much damage to our boy here and give him 3 Cyber Dragons. So now he could top deck a core and get 3 Cyber Dragons, but it stops him from top decking an Overload. Tries to use his skill, has to scoop. Okay, here we are facing a Mako. Going first, this boy's trying to gain a traditional rank up, it looks like. He's using a pretty stylish mat and sleeve combo there. I can't really knock the guy, he's flexing on us. So, heavy starter and we don't even get a monster. That's how poor they made heavy starter work. But We anticipate that, and that's just fine for us. We get a handful of counter traps. Our boy is Crystron's. We're gonna stop that scrap play and summon a Parshath all at the same time. Very strong card combo, guys. So our boy sets a back row. We top deck a Chaos Hunter, so we're gonna set a card. We're not really too worried about playing a Chaos Hunter. Hit our board for 2600. He reveals a Sea Stealth attack. Very popular way to play Crystron's now that the ban list has come. DK showed a little post-ban list way to play with Undines and stuff like this. Here he dumps a Sulfonier, finally gets his scrap play. Sulfonier's gonna bring out a Thirst Burn. Destroys his own field spell, brings out a Ryan of 3. That's going to be a Synchro summon of a level 6 Synchro powered in Zektron. But sadly for him, we have a set Void Trap Hole. So that's going to happen before the powered Zektron's effect, not protecting him from destruction. And our boy commits Senpuku, swinging into us. Great stuff. Okay, here we are fighting an Odeon. Going first, he's trying to get that dual level up in this tournament. He's rocking some 2017 KC Cup stuff. But we're going to stop him right where he stands. We're starting with a Parshath. And we have our Dragon Lord thanks to Heavy Starter. And just one. If this was old Heavy Starter, that would have been a hand of 3 Dragon Lords and 1 Parshath. But we work it out nice and well. We get a Dark Illusion. We could have set the Dark Illusion because we could be likely to get our Dragon Lord out. Choose not to. We're going to discard the Dark Illusion. Focus more on Trap Negation. Get rid of that field spell. Really want to discard a trap because it just hits him with plenty of damage. So we bring out both the Parshath and our Dragon Lord. Hit him with some damage. He has the same field spell again, but that's not a big deal for us. We just wanted to negate that spell. So here he's using Skull Invitation. Gonna turn out to bite him in the end. Here we swing with our Parshath, hit him for another 1000 damage. We're gonna negate that Warm Worm. Probably no real point to it, but there's no point not to either. So we hit him with the Warm Worm. Do not mill our deck and take damage from the Skull Invitation, just from our Divine Wrath. Now we hit him with our boy, but it only does 1000 because that field spell. That's the effect of the field spell. Now he normals Glowmoss. Glowmoss may have stopped us, but he's unlucky because it goes off what I draw, and I have a lot of traps, and a trap is the one thing you don't want to draw with your Glowmoss. Here he tries to Draining Shield. That's going to be the end of him because we are going to bribe it. It's going to send to his graveyard and finish him off. But like I said, we would have had no problem getting over that Glowmoss. Glowmoss does well against something like Heroes, but anything trap heavy, Glowmoss isn't really going to stall too well for you. So Trap Negation, guys. Counter traps, they're kind of cheese. It's just Parshath. You know Parshath is kind of cheese, but it's cool with Winda. Winda's a little cheesy too, but she's underrated, underused, so she's pretty cool. And Dragon Lord, guys, if you like counter traps, just throw them in your counter traps. There are 3 of them. Heavy Starter is a great way to get to them. Temperance and Chaos Hunter are super useful, so the deck's actually pretty awesome, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.